Well, we're here, everyone. We're in the fire staff meta, which is what we've been looking for. I can finally play Mage and not feel like a weakling anymore. And on the positive side, I feel like Fire Mage is feeling really good. It's feeling really fluid. It's feeling like how a Mage should be played, which I think is really, really good. On the downside, I kind of low-key feel like this is the worst OPR patch we've ever had. I just don't understand why they had to nerf the melee so bad. I do not want to be playing Star Wars or Battlefield. I want to be playing where there's lots of melee and range, not just all ranged. And I don't know what it's like on everyone else's server, but on our server, it is like 90% bows and fire staffs at the moment. So it's just very unenjoyable from that aspect. But I've had some good duels, some arenas. I have had some good fights in OPRs, and so here I thought I would go over some of them and also give you my build, which will be at the end of the video. So Pillar of Fire is feeling like definitely the best burst skill. I've actually found using Fireballs so it's still really effective. I usually try to go for like both at the same time, so Pillar of Fire and following it up with a Fireball. That's how I'm getting a lot of my burst through. But even like I quite like the even just the attacks are hitting harder. So yeah, fire staff's feeling really, really good. So here I was back capping a node and some red skin, and I get myself into a little 1v2. My teammate Leos has got a very low gear score at the moment, so he dies. He's gearing it up. I don't want to get into why. Nothing bad. And well, I may as well say it now that I've mentioned it. I kind of convinced him to do an Ironman, which is when you can't trade with anyone or like trade on the trade house, and I thought it was like a really good idea, but I was like, oh, we have to start from start. So we re-leveled some characters, and then I joined this guild that I'm in, and then I was like, oh, I can't do the Iron Man anymore, and so now he's re-leveling up a whole character, and I'm not even doing what I originally said I was going to do. So yeah, I'm a prick. But anyway, so we find ourselves in this 1v2. This guy's on me, so he needs some of that burst. I'm just trying to line up that Pillar of Fire, but I miss it. But he dies from my dots, which I love on the fire staff. I love dots on any spec, so it's just this one guy that's left. This is kind of really early on, me coming back in to play, and I haven't played the Mage for a while, so I was a little bit rusty. Try to get my ulti on him, but he dodges it. Chuck my fireball on him, took down my pillar, my pylon, sorry, rather, and then, yeah, the dots are ticking away at him. I'm just trying to put that pressure on him, but you can see how fluid the Mage is now. It's very quick, lots of moving around, which I love, very mobile. But here's an example of that burst that's coming through the Mage now. There's the Pillar of Fire, followed up with a Fireball, and then here comes the Ice Spike, and then it's just GG. Even when you're missing your shots though, like your big burst, like the heavy attack on the fire staff still hits plenty hard. You can see this guy, I'm fighting a bow, and I'm missing a lot of my big burst shots, but just with my heavy attacks, I'm able to put a lot of pressure into them. But I hit them with the Pillar of Fire there and kill them. Bit of lag there. And then like arenas have been like super fun too. That's kind of what I like about Mage, is it's the capability to do everything: wars, arenas, OPRs. But yeah, in this one I get myself into a little bit of a 1v2 again. So that's fun. I just love the mobility of the fire stuff, its ability to get itself out of trouble. It was just really lacking that burst before, so now it has it. It's really good. So you can see I'm just laying the damage into that player, but he gets away. So they've just killed one of ours, so now it's 2 of us and 3 of them. And then both the melee boys trying to get onto me. So I'm just trying to get myself around the pillar. And then... Now this guy's actually a super good bruiser. So even though I beat him, I think Mage is kind of a hard counter to melee. They're getting me really, really, really low. But I managed to get a Pillar of Fire on one of them and burst him down. And then it's just me versus a bruiser, which, you know, I should win. He's an amazing bruiser. You should see him in OPR. But I managed to get him in an ice spike, put him in the ice storm. Our other teammate finally comes to help out, but to be honest, I think I would have won. Also really good at taking out healers. You can see I get on this healer, and like no one else is really attacking them, and I can just take them out really quickly. So also very good for that. So I had a little dueling session with Sutekh, who's a poor old musket player. So everybody be a little nice to him. You know, is the musket even a weapon anymore? But he still obviously is able to use it because he kicks my ass in the first duel. He's using his rapier really, really effectively. I win the next 3 fights though. Basically, you just got to get your burst combos on them, so you'll see me do it pretty effectively there. I get the fireball on them, then the pillar of fire, and it's all over. That's if it goes smoothly. If it doesn't go smoothly, it drags it out a little bit. Yeah, see, I missed my pillar of fire there, but I got my fireball on him. But he's using his rapier really effectively. But yeah, you've got a lot more burst now as a mage, so you can really lay into them. So this is the 3rd fight that I won. And then we have our last fight. This is before I go into an arena. And yeah, he really gets me. He's sort of figuring it out a little bit at this point. He's putting a lot more pressure on me. He's dodging my attacks a lot more. I'm trying to get my spike onto him, but he dodges it all. And then he manages to finish me off. What I like about dueling though is it doesn't matter if you're winning or losing. When you go into an OPR and arena, you're always just much better. So like, just for example here, you know, I come across this other fire mage, and I'm just feeling a lot more confident because I've just been dueling. So I'm a lot more calmer when I need to be calm. And then, you know, they go for the fire stuff, but I'm just like, whatever, I'll just blow you apart. This is an epic duel. I see this guy standing up here. He was just standing up here shooting at me. So he's behind there, so I'm like, you cheeky little dog, I'm not going to let you. And then I realize he's falling down the hole. So I'm chopping all my AoEs on him, trying to kill him. Easy kill. And then I fall in. And then I'm like, whatever, let's fight. So we're going madly going for the fight. Dropping all my AoEs on him. Pillars of fire. He's doing all his. And it's a mad fight to the end. I finally manage. I'm finally hitting him. And then I kill him and I'm really happy. And then I think, wait, how do I get out of here? The AoE damage that you can put into groups on the mage is also insane. Okay, look at this, right? I spike. Then I burn out through them. Then I do my ulti. Then I put down the ice storm. And then pillar of fire. It's just insane AoE damage you can put into a group. It's crazy. Then I had some duels with Casper Boy on his bow. And I'm going to start telling you guys if I have a dueling session how much I won and how much I lost. Because sometimes I like to show specific duels just to show like what worked for me and how I did well. But sometimes they might be beating me more. So if I tell you, look, I lost 10 times, but these are the 2 times I did well, then no one can get angry with me for like not being honest. So this guy beats the first duel. Oh no, I win the first duel. I didn't realize that I won the first duel. So I'm using my ice pylon here, which is actually giving me a pretty big advantage. So I just keep wiping him.
Mage is pretty fucking.
It's actually pretty amazing. Like, yeah, it's nice to be able to fight bows and muskets because they used to be so hard for me to fight in the last patch, and now you get that burst on them, man. They're in trouble. See, he's having to focus on the ice pylon quite a lot, and then that allows me just to tear into him with all my AoE damage. He does beat me though. In this one he beats me. So I put down the ice pylon. I'm trying to get my AoEs on him, but he dodges all of it. And then he's actually moved back a little bit further, so he's sort of put himself in that favourable position for the bow. Look at that burn that I put on him though, and how much it just eats away at his health. And my god. But yeah, he's moved himself further away, which is making the advantage a little bit more towards the bow, I think. And so I think that's probably why he won. He's also out of ice pylon range. Man, this is close, but he manages to win. Damn it. So in order to be a little less cheesy, I changed the ice pylon out to ice spike. That was my idea, not his. He said he didn't mind if I stayed with ice pylon, but I thought it was a bit cheesy. And then it evens things up, to be honest, quite a lot. So I think I was crutching a little bit on the ice pylon. I'm actually trying to get in his face to use the ice spike, but then he's able to use his spear on me to really just punish me every time I get close to him. So the first couple of fights, yeah, he really just messes me up because I'm trying to get close to him to use the ice spike. So you'll see me try to do that again here. So I'm trying to get up to him, but every time I get close to him, he can just get his spear off on me before I even get a chance to get the ice spike on him. And then he just puts in all that damage. So he wins the next 2. Yeah, and so this is where I start to figure it out though. So I'm like, okay, I've got to keep my distance. I'm not going to get close. So he's now trying to come in on the spear. He actually still manages to get me, even though I was trying to keep my distance. But I'm not trying to get close to him this time. Just trying to keep my distance and put my attacks into him. because it evens things up a little bit. See, I saw him coming in there trying to get off on me, but yeah, I was aware of it that time. So this was the last fight. I think chuck the fireball, trying to get my big burst on him. Yeah, get the ice spike off on him that time, and then I've just got to hit him, and then that's it. So all up, I think it was, I won 9 of the duels, he won 3 of them, but a lot of those I was sort of cheating it with ice pylon a little bit, so it was a bit more even. But anyway, yeah, loving Fire Mage, just a bit disappointed with OPR, but let's get into the builds. Okay, so my build now, this is definitely not best in slot, but this is the build that it's not far from it though. This is the build that I'm running at the moment, and then I'm going to slowly improve upon it. So I might just try to do a little build every time I make a video, and then people can see as I update it, and then I'll show you what I've changed. So for the weapons, I'm running Unending Thor, Vicious, and Keenly Empowered on my Ice Gauntlet. Kind of using this as a CC, so in a way I don't really care what's on it. I quite like the Ice Pylon trait on this too, so that's really good if you use Ice Pylon lot, because it gives it more HP and does more damage, so that'd be really good to get too. So I might get one of them and then just switch it around depending on what I'm doing. But yeah, Ice Gauntlets were kind of cheap, and I just wanted to get an Ice Gauntlet trait on one of my weapons so I didn't have to get on my gear. For the Fire Staff, I've got Vicious, Flame Attunement, and Keenly Empowered, so that's like, that's pretty close to be best in slot, I think, for the weapon. So that's what I'm running on my Fire Staff, and then the gem that I'm using is obviously Ignite, and then Gambit, so it increases my damage, but my stamina's not full. And then for all of my armor, the gems that I'm using, the other ones obviously increase my fire attack, so Ignited, and then I'm using how many I'm using? 1, 2, 3, 4, all Onyx in my armor, and then I'm using 1 Onyx in my jewelry, and then 2 opals. So that gives me 5% magical resistance, 12.5% physical resistance. Okay, so for my headpiece, I'm using Freedom, Refreshing, and Resilient. For my medium chest piece, I'm using Freedom, Resilient, and Empowering Meteor Shower. I'll probably be using Meteor Shower. Well, I was planning on using Empowering Meteor Shower because I like the idea of just casting it and then, you know, denying that area of effect. And I will use it more, but I've just been enjoying, I think for like when you're 1vXing or 1v1ing, the Fireball and the Pillar of Fire is better. But for wars, or if you just want to like stat pad or do like big damage to groups, then a Meteor Shower. So I'll probably switch between the two, but at the moment that's what I'm running. For the gloves, I would have preferred to have got Elemental Aversion, but I don't think they had any, so I've got Freedom, Physical Aversion, and Resilience. For my leg wear, I've got Shirking Energy to increase that stamina, because obviously stamina is really important. I'm dodging around a lot, I'm really mobile, so anything that gives me back stamina is good. Resilience, and then Refreshing Pillar of Fire. And then for my feet, I'm using Elemental Aversion, Refreshing, and Resilience. Again, for the same reasons I outlined above, for my amulet, I'm running Health, Refreshing, and Stamina Recovery, just because I want as much stamina as I can get. And then the Refreshing reduces my cooldowns. You want those cooldowns coming off as quickly as possible, because that's where your burst is coming from. Well, yeah, I mean, the heavy attacks actually do pretty good now too. And then Health, obviously. For my ring, I'm going for fire damage. I don't think crit's super important at the moment, although I'd have to test it. So I went for fire damage instead. Invigorated, Punishment, and Hardy. So that's just a good ring to give you increase my damage. And this is like probably a pretty obvious one. For my earring, Nimble, so just a bit more stamina again. Refreshing Toast and Healthy Toast. At the moment, I'm running 200 con, 300 intelligence, but I really want to drop that down because I don't think I need to be on 200 con. I don't think it's going to make much difference, and I'd rather have more damage. It's just I stupidly bought an Ice Gauntlet, which gives me Constitution. So I'm going to replace one of these gear sets out and that, and then I'm going to get myself down to 150 con and try out 350 intelligence. But that I can talk about in the next video. Okay, so I'm not going to run through it all. This is the Fire Staff tree. You can pick, like, go through whatever you want. You can see it, just screenshot it or whatever. that's the fire staff tree, and there's the Ice Gauntlet tree. At the moment, I'm running Ice Spike. I do run Ice Pylon though, and so if you want to go Ice Pylon, basically you kind of want to go exactly the same, but you want to come down all the way down here instead. So yeah, that's the build. Hope everyone have enjoyed the video, and I will see you again for the next one. Hopefully a war video will be soon.